what we're doing.
They think we're fucking idiots.
We are fucking idiots, but we are hot. So
all right,
that's a fantastic.
Caleb's hot. That haircut.
I got all that hair. Ooh, yeah, I felt better.
Man.
Yeah, cut that shit off.
Where do you go anyways? You go like Sports Clips or something?
Hell yeah. Multiple Sports Clips. I spread that $30 out evenly.
That looks like a $30 haircut.
Oh, it is.
They charge you $30 at Sports Clips. Like I go to a salon. I say it's a salon, but they have a bunch of like almost apartments in a building.
Yeah, leased rental little spots.
And the chick that cuts my hair charges me $35.
Yeah, but you have to call and schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't have to do that. I just show up, and I don't care who does it.
Yeah.
I went to my first actual barber in years.
You get haircuts?
Not usually.
Yeah. You get your hair cut?
He's treading. There's a good thing. There's a metal
piece of work today.
There's a good thing that your expensive equipment is attached to that chair, so you don't fucking throw it at him. That's his only saving grace right now.
But for the wedding, it was more for the beard trim.
Yeah. You looked good in that picture too.
Goddamn straight I did.
Mostly because you were standing next to Jan.
Well, there's a lot to that. But man,
Old Pearly.
A place called Scissors and Scotch or Scotch and Scissors or something like that.
Color me in.
Mm-hmm.
$70, complimentary cocktail, razor shave, haircut,
the great thing about Sports Clips, though, is you can walk in there and you can watch all the Division III women's volleyball you want.
All right, we need to start rolling here.
And the tour's on in the background.
Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to ShiftLess. Obviously, by that preamble, the show that's only about bicycles, women's volleyball, hell, WNBA.
The best sports on earth. And the Tour de France.
We do see it in the background.
Yeah, and we're sitting in a sea of bicycles.
Yes.
A plethora.
So, episode 70?
Episode 70.
Brought to you by Velo Bikes. Velo Republic.
God,
you suck at this.
I do. You can fix that. You can edit it.
No. I'll let our guest, DJ Caleb. Wait. Oh, we got. I'm out of practice on this.
there it is.
There we go.
So the best thing about recording this not at 9:30 in the morning is this.
Yeah. Also brought to you by Coors.
Kevin, where are we? What is it? What is not normal about what we're doing right now?
Well, the normal part is
Coffee.
lack of coffee. No, we are at Velo Republic in beautiful, swinging Denton, Texas.
And it's 420.
Is it?
It's pretty
It's
damn
420.
close. It's
Sure is.
Yeah, I wouldn't lie to you.
Yeah. So we're doing this in the afternoon because, again, Caleb's being held down by the man under the man's thumb. So we can't do our normal morning coffee routine on the porch.
I have coffee. I had coffee this morning in spirit with you guys.
Understood.
Okay.
Understood.
My wife had a meeting this morning.
My wife.
way.
She got everything ready for our podcast, and then she got back home.
Bless her heart.
She had coffee made,
That woman
cups
is
set out.
so golden. I feel so bad. I'm going to have to text her and tell her how much I love her.
She had water glasses and everything. And she got back home and she goes, I got all this shit ready and y'all didn't even podcast? I go, sorry, baby. If we weren't two ships passing in the night, you would know that we're not podcasting until this evening.
Do we need to add her to show notes?
She would be the one to actually read them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And she could actually type on them, too.
Yeah. Well, it's a scheduling thing, but it's not as hot as it has been. We actually have clouds outside.
It's
but
actually pretty
hey, when I
fresh
left
out there.
Frisco this afternoon, it was pouring.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hope some of it comes
Yeah.
our way.
There's a big old thing of smoke over there towards Crum.
Man, I wish
Something's
we
on
could get some
fire.
rain. I wish we could get some rain.
So, we're if you hear background music, we're not at Casa Verde.
No.
We're at Velo Republic in Denton, Texas. And as Brad said, we're surrounded by bikes, and it feels good.
It does.
Bikes or trees, either one surrounded by feels good.
It is air conditioned. I will give them that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame it's not 110 degrees out, so that we could really put this to use. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Could we figure out how to make all this float without getting electrocuted and doing it from the pool
Hell yeah.
without dying?
Yeah. I think so.
Kevin, do you trust that?
No.
Yeah, I don't either.
No. My pool.
My pool.
Fuck that pool. If it's not one thing, it's another thing. My salt cell went out. It burned up one of the leads. So I started reading, and it said it's because your salt cell's drawing too many amps. Well, luckily, it was still under warranty, so I had to get a new one. Then I got a new one. It wouldn't plug into the old board because the board receptor was gummed up. So I had to buy a new board, replace my board. My pressure gauge went out. I mean, it's just been one thing after another. My DE manifold had a crack in it, so my pool was just spitting DE back in the pool. So I had to vacuum all that out. So all that being said, the pool is ready for us to podcast from it. Should we see it fit?
It seems a little risky.
Yeah. Or we could just have a standing date with Gabe.
I think he would let us.
I think he would.
Yeah. If anybody comes into the shop and mentions ShiftLess podcast,
They get a
they get 50% off an entire
water bottle.
water bottle.
Yeah.
I will pay the other 50% if Gabe says no.
Come to Velo Republic to get your shiftless stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Do you all have a stash with you to leave behind?
Oh, wait, we're not live.
No, we're not live.
Fuck. So
Call-
someone comes in after this,
call the hotline.
Gabe's going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Call the hotline. Contact support chat.
Call 555-5555. I do have a stack of stickers, but I'm planning on bringing them to Arkansas with me this weekend.
How many people are you going to see? It's Arkansas.
It's not people. It's not people. It's places.
What are you doing in Arkansas?
I'm going to Mena with an entire crew. I'm going.
I know about this. I remember hearing about this.
Yeah, Shannon.
Yeah.
Bragg.
Yeah.
Glenn, somebody from Houston that I don't know.
Okay.
Mike Smith, Ian Moore, Ben Thornton, Adam Phillips.
Okay.
Good crew.
Yeah.
All e-bikes.
Okay.
All trail.
So I have to say, has Caleb softened his heart on e-bikes?
I'm going to go with
No.
probably.
Only because I'm a sensitive, empathetic little bitch. And at first, it was fun to kind of poke around at my buddies, all in good faith, right?
Good fun, you mean.
Good fun,
Yeah.
whatever. But I think things are getting out of hand.
How so?
Social media, there's just a lot of, it's getting to the point where it's just kind of like getting ugly.
Yeah.
Past the point where if it's friendly banter, that's one thing.
Right.
But I'm seeing it kind of go over the top to where it's just complete
It's just-
being making a conscious effort to be a fucking asshole, and I don't want that. So I'm going to soften my heart. Plus, I'm just seeing. I'm not going to buy an e-bike. I'm not saying that at all. I have no interest in buying one. But I'm like no
Not
longer.
today.
I don't think I
Not
want to.
today.
Not today. I'm going to ease up, and I don't want to be a part of the over the top. I don't want to be
Yeah.
associated with being
Same.
in that group of over the top. So
Same. I kind of said something very similar on the last podcast. I was like, if we fast forward the timeline, like 5 years from now, it's going to be, we're going to feel foolish for making fun of e-bikes.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be probably more prevalent than normal bikes.
I still.
in that period of time.
I still have a pretty hard stance on people going taking KOMs and not marking themselves as
Oh,
e-bike.
completely.
But like,
Speaking of which, did you ride your e-bike today?
I did.
How come your fucking Strava doesn't say e-bike?
Because I can't figure out how to make that my default.
You don't,
Right.
you don't have to make it your default. You just go in and edit your settings.
No. I have to edit my settings to make that my
When you
default.
go- when you
I
go
haven't
into
been
your
able to
ride-
figure out how to do-
I am the least technical person here,
Well,
and
we
I will
had-
show you.
Okay,
Look,
because we had this discussion because you had the commuter thing
look,
going on yours.
edit activity.
No, that's afterwards.
Yeah, Mita, type of ride. Look,
I know
here's-
how to change it after the fact.
well, that's what you have to do.
No, I want to set it so it defaults to e-bike automatically.
That's you giving in, though. You don't need to do that. You need to
For
go through the pain
No,
of
I get
changing
it.
it every time.
oh, you're trying to torture him?
You can make it your
Hey,
default.
burp into that microphone.
I haven't
again.
figured out how to do
There's
that.
gonna be more of
yet.
that.
I do change it almost every time, particularly if there might be a KOM on the line.
But I didn't like your ride today because it was not marked e-bike.
What?
Not yet.
That's petty.
It will be by tomorrow morning.
I'm just
Kevin's
giving
got
you
too many
shit.
things to do than to worry about taking care of your sensibilities.
He thinks he's torquing me, but he's not.
I'm just having fun. Sorry.
I'm glad you are.
I'm in a good mood.
Nah, you're in one of those moods.
No, I'm in a great mood.
For you, making it miserable for everybody else.
I took. So this Cannondale Multera, I don't know how you say it, e-bike that I borrowed, rented from the shop to take to Mina this weekend. Came up here and got it yesterday and charged it up overnight. Kind of jacked around with the fit a little bit, raised the seat.
So this is a Velo bike that you're taking.
It is.
I assumed it was somebody's bike that you were borrowing.
No.
Wow.
And so I got out in the garage today and tried to take the pedals.
Thanks, Velo Republic.
Yeah, I tried to take the pedals off, and I spent about 30 minutes trying to get these effing pedals off and could not get them off.
Effing? How many times have we already said fuck today?
Yeah, but you can't get to the back side of the cranks because the cranks are so short, and the bottom bracket is so
and the
bulky
motor's
because
in
of the
way.
motor. And so
You can't do it from the above in between in the triangle. It won't even.
No, because it's so
It's still not going to reach there.
no.
Interesting.
And I just couldn't get enough torque on them to get them out. So I ended
That's
up riding.
the real problem.
I ended up riding
He can't
flat pedals, nylon pedals, and just regular shoes.
Yeah.
Did my normal loop. My max heart rate was like 130.
Okay.
And I rode, my average was 18 miles an hour. And I literally didn't even sweat.
Yeah.
I was like, this is straight up cheating. I can't wait to get this thing on a trail. But no, to be fair, I did run it in turbo the whole time because I was like,
that is cheating.
well, I was like, what's the point?
Just get
Why
an angle grinder or have Gabe torch it off.
Yeah. But what are you talking about? No,
The pedals.
They got the pedals off. They had
okay.
The only pedal wrench I have that goes on like the nut side on the outside of the crank is an old Campy, and it was the wrong size. And I was like, I'm not going to mess up these. You know.
Okay, so was this your first, for lack of a better term, significant e-bike experience?
Yes. I've test ridden them. You know,
Just like around the parking lot or around
or
the block.
like up and down the street or up and down the driveway. This was, it was a 13-mile ride.
This is a full squish? Their full squish version?
Yeah.
So did you carry it over the tree down at Corbin?
No, I didn't go. I did the Jeter box.
Okay. So you didn't get any dirt in?
I think I'm going to go cut that tree this weekend. I'm going to have a little extra time.
Nico said he was going to cut it, and I said, man, you're going to need some help because it's not just the limb. The whole tree is still hanging.
Yeah.
I'm just going to cut the segment out. I'll move my chainsaw.
But what I'm telling you is the whole tree is on top of the limbs.
Yep.
So you're going to need a hand.
Okay.
And it's going to be raining anyways.
Maybe.
We're supposed to get rain. Maybe it doesn't start till Monday or Tuesday.
It was supposed to start today. And
Either way,
backed
that
out.
tree needs to come down, and there's another one in the trails behind your house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's on the main path.
That's on the main, so the double track.
Yeah, that crushed granite stuff.
Yeah.
Before you get to the trail, there you come around the corner and there's just limbs everywhere.
Where that fencing is?
Before the fencing.
Okay. I'll go take a look at it.
Yeah, that one will be much easier to deal with.
Is it blocking the trail completely?
Yeah, you have to dismount.
Oh yeah, I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We randomly we went to Ramble on Sunday. Thornton, Phillips, and Garrett get it.
Ah.
And
is he feeling better? He was sick too.
Yeah, he was riding strong too. And it was my bad, but we took the wrong turn. I said, well, let's go ride the trails behind Caleb's house. And for whatever reason, I turned right and went towards the Highline stuff. And I was like, oh shit, we went the wrong way. Let's turn around. And I saw Nico and his old squad coming from the backside of that school, the other way on the path.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, it's a rival biker gang. Let's go.
Did y'all saw it doing the finger snap in the West Side Story?
I said, yo, dog, what's your MySpace?
Sharks.
And so we rode with them for a little bit, but they had a guy that they were trying to get back into cycling, I would say. Mm-hmm. And he was holding up the entire process. So we hung out for a while, and then we were like, hey, we're going to get out of here. Mm-hmm. But we ended up just rambling all over and doing random stuff. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, Nico. He was leading a group, and they had a couple of strong riders with them. They had one of the guys was on your bike, not the Confluence. Is it the Confluence?
Mine's the Tributary.
The Tributary. He was on a Tributary. Jan's is the Confluence.
Jan's is the Confluence.
Yeah. So he was on the Tributary. Looked identical to your bike, except for your new cockpit upgrade, which I do want to get into as well.
Okay.
So, and ironically, that guy couldn't keep up with us on the Tributary. So, it was fun, though. Fun. I can't wait to get an e-bike on the trail.
So, this one that you're using this weekend, is this a Class 3?
It's Class 1.
Class 1, okay.
So, that is the weird thing.
That's a big-ass bike to be Class 1.
When it gets to 20 miles an hour, it's almost like the brakes come on.
Yeah.
It just quits, and so you're just pedaling an analog bike. If you want to go any faster than 20...
So why is that thing so big?
I don't know.
Okay.
Which one is it?
Look, I know nothing about e-bikes. It's that
yellow one?
Mm-hmm. I think it's an 85 Fig Newton meters. And
so it's still got the big motor with the big torque, but they're suppressing it to Class 1.
Yeah.
So it's just begging to be jailbroke.
That's what I was going to say. If I was to purchase a bike like that, the first thing I would do was jailbreak it or figure out how to.
And it's probably, this plastic cover came off and this switch went that way. Darn, it's jailbroke.
It probably is pretty freaking easy. In fact, I'm going to be hanging out with a guy that works with Cannondale this weekend, and I'm going to ask him how difficult of a situation it is. I'm not going to do it to this bike because it doesn't belong to me, but I'm more curious how difficult of a process is and what the real ramifications are over the life of the bike.
My understanding is it does lead to a bunch of burnt out motors. That's my understanding.
That makes sense.
So does this mean you're going to have an e-bike before the end of the year?
Oh, very doubtful.
Okay.
I mean, not from a philosophical standpoint or anything, but mostly from a monetary standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm still in the process of building an Amish bike right now.
You could take a third of the cost of that e-bike and build up that Chumba to something real sweet.
Yeah. Well, Gabe's building me some wheels right now. Has been for the last...
is he over there building wheels right now?
No, not
No, I don't think he is.
I came in yesterday and this motherfucker goes, "Come look at your wheels." I was like, "Sweet." And he picks up just the hoop.
God damn, it's so funny.
and
He's so good.
The nipples in the hub are sitting on the bench right there.
Can you build wheels?
No. I was telling Tyler that earlier. When I worked for John Cobb back in the day, I was building $6,000-$7,000 bikes in the early 90s, and we had 3 full-time wheel builders on staff. That's all they did was build wheels all day long.
Wow.
And so I never trued wheels. I never built wheels. I never had to mess with any of it. So it's just one of those things that I always left to people that were smarter than me.
Yeah.
Wheels are pretty temperamental. I think that wheel building, as far as the information and everything, is a lot easier to come by nowadays.
Yeah.
But it's one of those skills that I never picked up. I never really concerned myself.
PG language.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Copy that.
Hey, so you and Jan bought a Confluence to go with your Tributary, so now you guys are both on an e-bike. I would imagine that makes riding with your spouse pretty enjoyable because you guys are you can manage
equally
your speed.
Matched somewhat.
Yeah. Just a couple of short rides so far, but that does seem to be the case. It's still a balancing act.
Well, being married 30 years is a balancing act. As
him,
as clued in,
we are talking about Jan. We know it's the balancing act is for him.
As clued in by the video you posted, I was like, God, y'all sound like an old married couple.
That was funny. So, did you go to her and say, "Hey, do you want to try this out?" Or did she have interest, or how did that go down? If you don't mind me asking,
what had happened? So I've started doing a spin history video series called Riding Every Day from my Riding Every Day adventures. And my lovely bride was sitting in the family room watching an episode with me on TV. That's how I review them, is on the TV, to make sure that the quality's decent enough.
Mm-hmm. If it looks good on the TV, it looks great on a phone.
One would think.
Yeah.
One would think. And so she was just like sitting there through the whole episode. I'm like, this is weird, but okay. Good thing I'm not talking about her too much.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the end of it, she goes, maybe an e-bike would be a good thing for me to get back on the bike.
And that's all it took.
Mm-hmm.
Speed dial, Clarence.
Is he number one on the speed dial?
No, you're number one, Caleb.
Yeah, this guy knows how to sweet talk a girl, doesn't he?
Man.
Whew. My ovaries are vibrating.
He has to physically dial my number.
I don't even know what you're. Well, hey, I think that's really, really cool.
That
like
is.
you guys, my wife, where she grew up in Baton Rouge. First off, my wife, Baton Rouge is literally in the top 5 worst cycling cities in the United States.
Oh, I don't doubt it at
and
all.
it has been ever since. And when she grew up, it was a really busy road that shared a retail area. There was a school, there was a Catholic church. Like, it was a very busy street. So they never learned how to ride a bike.
Oh, wow.
I still have one of those old rideshare bikes from UNT that Gabe gave me, and it's been in the garage, and she said, I want to go learn how to ride that bike this weekend.
You got training wheels?
No, I don't think we'll need to.
I know.
I can lower the seat enough to where she can scoot along. Like, I'm basically
just do Strider bike.
Well, that's what I was going to do, is take the pedals off first.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let her stride around on it, and then go to.
We have a celebrity. Catherine Moore.
Aren't we lucky?
How are you doing? Hey, I'm riding
Kat.
bikes with your husband this weekend. Is he not going?
Ruh-roh.
My mom.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we're just waiting for more news.
Okay. Well, maybe I won't have some Cannondale insight this weekend. So I'm sorry about your mom.
I know all the inside stuff.
Oh, I know. You be good, girl. It's nice to see you.
You too. You need to come over sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, bye.
Bye. Catherine Moore, local pro.
Mm-hmm.
Local badass.
Walking out with an intense bike box.
Oh.
Where's she moving it around? I don't know
She's-
what's going on there.
The odds are she's going somewhere to race, and she's shipping her
Taking
bike.
a box.
Yeah.
Just taking a box.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's cool that you guys got e-bikes and are riding together. I like that.
Yeah.
We'll save the Confluence overview for a different show when y'all can actually put eyes, hands, and
Considerably cheaper than the Tributary, right?
the Tributary was a $6,000 bike. This was a $3,000 bike at
Yeah.
full MSRP,
Yeah. So half price.
half price.
Yeah.
This one's a true Class 1 hub motor,
Right.
but
Equally appointed as far as componentry.
It's Apex.
Yeah.
The Confluence is mechanical brakes, not the hydraulic.
So this is the Confluence is the e-bike version of the Warbird.
Essentially.
Essentially.
I would say halfway between a Warbird and a Journeyer.
Okay.
Journeyman. Oh, it's not the Journeyman anymore.
They-
It's,
I-
Yeah, it's a
what's it called? The
Journeyer.
Journeyer.
That's a stupid word.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Actually, it's probably more comparable to an aluminium Warbird. It would
Yeah.
probably be along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that paint color. It's pretty close to the color of my Warbird. I like that.
The big sexy on this one is it rides like a bicycle.
Yeah.
With just getting a little bit of assist along the way, but it makes a big difference.
So does the bottom bracket area function like a normal bottom bracket, meaning when you freewheel, the chain ring is intact with the cranks? It doesn't freewheel inside the bottom bracket like a
Correct. It's
e-bike?
It's a rear hub motor.
Okay.
So
I got
it's
you. I just
no,
I
trust me.
ask out of strict ignorance.
Well, I mean, that mid-drive stuff drives me batty.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty
I'm
wild.
sure it drives you batty.
yeah, it's wild.
So driving a mid-drive e-bike or riding driving a mid-drive e-bike is a totally different experience from riding a traditional bicycle. Whereas this hub drive pedal assist, it is like riding a bicycle with just a little bit of boost here and there.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And it's so much lighter.
How does it know when to kick in? If it's still pedal assist, right?
It's still pedal assist, but it's not the 85 Fig Newtons. It's like, I don't know, 25 or 30 or whatever.
So it's minimal assist.
It's minimal assist. I mean, you can still ramp it up and it'll get you going, but it's not like driving a mini bike, you know.
Yeah.
So, it's a different experience, but And I so far I have minimal saddle time on that bike, so it's too early for me to talk too much about it.
That makes sense.
So, but it's very, very positive experience so far, and I think it's definitely a good fit for
Very
for
cool.
my ride.
Let's shift gears here.
Oh, no pun intended.
Tell us about your newfound information about.
Yeah. So back right after we did your episode, Kevin, just for a recap. Hold on, I got to clear my throat.
Let me clear my throat.
God, it's almost like I can't beat that stuff. Okay.
We're good. People don't expect much from us.
Did you have bronchitis, by the way? Or
No, I don't have time for that.
ain't nobody got time for that. Now I got the bronchitis.
I guess I had that chest infection that's going around.
Gage went to the doctor, and they told him he had, but they said that he had bronchitis because he laid in bed for like 4 days, and I guess
The only time I
everything-
ever got any relief is standing up. Sitting down, and especially laying down. Laying down, like I'm not joking. I went 4 or 5 days with getting 3 or 4 hours of sleep, sometimes 2. It was rough. And then I went to the doctor, and he goes, "Oh, well, maybe it's a virus. So I'm gonna give you some cough medicine with codeine and with the guaifenesin, and that's gonna knock it out." I
Some
took the
scissor.
cough. Yeah, I took that. I drank that. I didn't even sleep with it.
Really?
Yeah. So 2 days later, I went back, and he gave me a Z-Pack, and like the next morning, I was already feeling better.
Yeah.
But
They
I'm still like just got residual, but I'm like 100% better than what
They
I was.
gave Gage a steroid shot.
I got that too. Yeah.
antibiotics,
Yeah.
and then gave him a albuterol inhaler.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, you're on like straight up steroids.
Yeah, he is.
He goes, albuterol's a steroid? I go,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Anything that's buterol is
Yeah.
a steroid.
Yeah.
So,
So anyway,
sorry.
Kevin, we had your episode where we talked about your bicycle versus car incident. I'd posed a question. I wonder how many tickets the city of Denton has given for distracted driving, handheld devices.
yeah.
Did
A
a
law that was passed in 2019.
Yeah. Got the information back from the city. They were the Denton Police Department got me that information within 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
And there was only
9 or something,
no,
if I recall.
It was 40.
There was I think it was 49.
Oh, 49, yeah.
49 since 2019, something along those lines. And I was just like, God,
That's what it
That's
was. It
not
was
very
like
many.
9 a year.
It's
something
9 a
like
year.
That, yeah.
so
But they were all school zone too.
they were most of them,
Almost
not all of them. So here's what I found out. I called around a little bit and actually ended up talking to the what is called the traffic enforcement officer, who's kind of like the head over the group, Sergeant Reyes. Super nice guy. Kind of still a little bit of a cyclist, but definitely a former cyclist enough to where I could tell by his vocabulary that
he could relate to
he
where
was
you
a
were
cyclist.
coming from.
Yeah.
Here's the difference, and this is a lesson when you pull information.
The difference between what?
What?
You said here's the difference.
Here's the difference I'm about to say.
Oh, okay.
You interrupted me while I was saying the difference,
As you were.
as I was. In the future, when you're requesting information from the police department, you have to know exactly the law that you're looking for. Here's what I didn't know. There's a city ordinance and there's a state law.
Okay.
What I had asked for, I literally said the state law.
Yep.
That's what they provided.
Okay.
The state law is useless unless it's in a school zone. The state law is useless. The state law
Well, and
basically says
that's basically how we broke it down.
yes.
too.
Yeah.
So the state law says texting.
Mm.
How does a police officer
Yeah.
prove that someone was texting?
Yeah,
right?
because they don't have the time to pull
Yeah.
records and
Yeah.
all that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So he goes, what you're looking for is the city ordinance, which is a lot easier to enforce, which is what you didn't ask for.
Sure.
We're close to 2,000.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
And he said, we do go after distracted drivers. We try to post up. He goes, it is a challenge, but with the city ordinance, all they have to do is have it in their hand.
Yeah.
Now,
That's how I thought it. That's what I thought.
Well,
is
yeah.
Literally, you can't drive even if your phone's off. You cannot drive holding your phone.
well, that's what I thought the state law was.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't put 2 and 2 together, that there's a state law
So
and
now
a city ordinance.
Okay, and you guys are basically Dentonites, so
Yes.
that was your perception of what. So I get it. See, I didn't even realize that was a city ordinance for Denton myself.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something that I could hypothetically get busted for rather easily if I just have my phone in my hand.
Yeah.
You know, putting in the address to Velo Republic or whatever else.
Yeah.
You know,
So it makes sense that the overwhelming majority of those 49 tickets written
Yeah.
were in school zones, because that is part of the state law. It's broader.
Yeah.
The definition is broader for state law. So
Yeah.
I felt a lot better after that conversation, and I can smell bullshit a mile away. And this guy was straight
up.
straight
Yeah.
with me.
No,
And
I get it.
It was a good conversation. And matter of fact, he said, "Hey, if you ever have a run-in or if everything's going on, like he told me to save his name and number in my phone." It was a
So you got to get out of jail free card?
yeah, I did. I'm gonna
Dude,
fuck this
let's go
town up
raise
this
some
weekend.
Hell.
It's interesting how I felt like the city was letting us down, and then after I actually had all the conversations, it's actually the exact opposite.
That's
But-
awesome.
But he can't change
But-
people's behavior. That's the problem. That's what he said.
Well, but it's a city ordinance, so once it's outside the city limits of Denton, it doesn't apply.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where I was coming from.
But other cities have similar ordinances
Not
as
very
well.
many in Texas, I wouldn't think. Austin probably does.
Yeah, Austin does, because I've kind of followed some threads on Reddit about it.
realistically, the college towns probably do.
Yeah.
That's about
Yeah.
it. Realistically.
So what happens when you get out in the county? There's no county ordinances. Did county just follow state laws?
County is state law.
Yeah.
And that's where that's where your incident happened, right? It wasn't in a township, was it?
No, we were not.
In
we were
a
not
township. What are we in South Africa?
a municipality.
Yeah, dig
A
it.
township.
We were in the county.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was even debatable if we were in Denton County or Tarrant County, because the road itself is literally is the line.
Yeah.
So it's like, which county is this? I don't know.
Hmm.
But anyway, yeah. But again, going back to the state law has no teeth. It has nothing to except
In a school zone.
in a school zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I guarantee you, is completely intentional. That's somebody, a Texas state legislature was able to say, hey, I passed this law, but they knew it wasn't going to really have any negative impact on any of their constituents that were against it, sort of thing. So anyway.
But going back to the way, I was paying attention to his language, but to have a police officer say the state law is useless leads me to believe that he wants the same. He could have said, yeah, the state law isn't the same.
No, I
But
understand.
by his language of saying useless, he was pro
The city
protect-
ordinance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and wants to protect cyclists.
Yeah.
Again, I think realistically, it's probably a fair assumption that most law enforcement officers would fall in those lines, but also most law enforcement officers are also
Heaven, let your light shine down. Come on.
most law enforcement officers think it's stupid for everybody to be open carry as well, and
Yeah.
or everybody to be concealed carry
Yeah.
as well. But
I could argue both sides of both of those. And
that's my point.
And I don't
That's my
even
point.
know how I feel about it, because I see both sides. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
I mean, I'm not trying to get into a gun debate. We're not.
Oh,
gonna
no.
we're not
Yeah.
going to do that here.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
But-
packing, by the way.
Are you?
Um,
And you're
you notice how many Aspen XTs are hanging on the wall?
How many?
3.
Oh, where are they?
The ones that, not the Maxus with the
What-
bright orange, the ones to the left with the
what size are they?
subdued
2.2.
2.4s
Oh,
is what he
The
ordered.
box with the blue square at the top?
No, to the right of those.
more than likely, I've helped Gabe sell a pair of something in the next week or so, but
Hey, Logan.
it won't be those because that bike won't take a 2.4.
Yeah. Well, they come in at 2.25
No, I'm trying to-
as well.
I'm
Trying
trying
to
to help
sell
you.
his stock.
I'm trying to help you sell your 3 tires.
Oh, I'm not worried about it.
Someone better have a unicycle.
I mean, it's a great rear tire.
He bought six
six
pair?
of 'em.
Why is there one? Why is there?
Somebody bought
We
one.
talked about that.
I
Somebody
know,
bought
I
one.
know.
Yeah.
Why somebody would buy one of those? It makes no sense to me.
It was
If-
probably Justin Carey.
if you're if you're listening to this and you bought that one, please
Call the hotline.
shiftlesslive@gmail.com. Explain that one to me.
Call Brad. His phone number is 94. No.
So, what's your next law enforcement project?
That's a good question. I don't have one.
Okay.
Should I have one?
I will say that Denton has gotten
Do I need a task?
tremendously better at catering to cyclists as far as all the cycling lanes they have, all the bike lanes, bike path, their signage.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many signs they have that says riders can use the whole lane, full lane.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is very much positions Denton as a pro cycling community as far as I'm concerned. And Argyle's barely followed with a couple of, I know when they redid our road, Country Club, they put a cycling lane in, or a wider shoulder at least.
Yep.
So I love it. I think, that's one of the things we have failed at. If you look at other countries, is we don't have the cycling infrastructure, and it leads to a lot of anti-cycling behavior and people getting frustrated with cyclists because they think that cyclists shouldn't be on the road, but by the letter of the law, we're just as entitled to the road as they are.
Unfortunately, we've actually, a lot of the cycling infrastructure that we have had, they took away.
Yeah,
that's the real shame of it all. Let alone it not being there now.
Yeah.
So interesting enough. This is a good segue. Do you read Susie Romer's blog?
I don't even know who Susie Romer is.
Yeah, you do. She's the.
Apparently, you don't know who she is either.
Well, I'm trying to think of what is the group that she's in. She rode with us on a Tuesday night or a ramble. She did the backpack ramble with us.
Oh yeah, and she helped us build the berm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So she's heavily involved in the city, not as an official, as a volunteer, like a head volunteer, for more of the mobility and accessibility, right?
Okay.
And she has a blog called bikedenton.org.
I did not know that.
And she, and then Bike Denton also has a pretty good Facebook page. But anyway, she posted this article back at the end of June. Denton scores 20 out of 100 for its bicycle network from the People for Bikes city ratings, which that's lower than what I expected. But they're up from 18 points from 2023, so they're getting better. But I thought Denton was doing a better job.
Are there other Texas cities on the list?
So there is.
Okay.
So the top 5.
Let me guess.
Well, let me read you can't guess until I tell you what the thing is you're guessing.
Well, you said the top 5.
Top 5 what?
Cities in Texas.
What kind of cities?
Biking.
No,
cities.
you don't know yet because I'm about to tell you. Top 5 mid-sized cities. So cities of comparable population. 50,000 to 300,000.
Okay.
So, yes. So what would be your top 5?
Oh, shit.
2 of them you don't really ride
El
in.
Paso.
Nope.
Okay.
El Paso does have a pretty good cycling
That's
awareness and community.
That's my understanding, but I haven't been there
Yeah.
yet.
Now, there's a full list. And
I
I'm not
know
on
a
the full
guy
list,
from El
but-
Paso.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
So,
He tells everybody every chance he gets.
Yeah, he does.
so just to give you a relative understanding of the score. So
San Antonio's too big.
So the top
Austin's
the
too
top
big.
mid-sized city in the United States is Davis, California, with a score of 78 over 100.
No, I'm asking about Texas cities.
I know,
Yeah,
but I'm giving you a baseline of what the top mid-sized city is 78,
and
right?
it's still a C+.
So the top Texas
Okay.
is the Woodlands
Oh, okay.
at 49.
Which
So
is
that
just north of Houston.
So that tells you that.
That's a suburb. That's not even a city, but okay.
Yeah.
But it tells you that if the best mid-sized city in Texas, which there's a lot of cities between 50,000 and 300, more than 50.
I get that.
A score of 49 is not great.
Right.
Number 2 is Flower Mound
Oh, wow.
at a 34. But
Interesting.
34 is low, but it's way higher than 20.
Yeah, but have you...
What?
I would say that Flower Mound is only rated that high because of all the bike paths that they have. All that Highland Village, Flower Mound stuff.
That's what I'm...
They don't have a lot of bike lanes. I can't think of hardly any bike lanes in Flower Mound.
The whole... What is that road that goes from Flower Mound Highway all the way that we wind down to go turn down Simmons towards North Shore? That's technically got bike lane on it, but nobody uses it because it's too sketch to use the bike lane there, sort of thing. Flower Mound has several roads like that with a lot of bike lane that you don't want to ride a bike on.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I posted-
because of distracted drivers.
Yes.
Take a look at, whenever you guys get a chance, take a look at the article she wrote because it's really interesting. But so moving on.
Send me the link. So
It's
I
on
can
the
put it in
it's on the show notes.
I don't look at your show notes.
Oh God, I work so hard for you guys, and you just don't.
I
You
got
don't
it.
have that same look in your eyes when you look at me like when we first met.
You don't send me flowers anymore.
All right, let me find our text thread. There it is.
No, it's okay.
All right. Number 3 and 4 are tied. Allen and McKinney both scored 24. And then the 5th is Mesquite at 23. And that puts Denton as 61st in Texas. Wow. Yeah. So
I mean,
So what's
so the take here is that they have publicly said, moving since a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, they publicly said when we met here with the parks guy, and then they had the infrastructure guy, is that moving forward, new roads, new construction, new infrastructure has to be bike friendly.
Yeah.
The second part of this story is that we just hired, the city of Denton, hired what's called a bicycle and pedestrian coordinator.
Really?
Yeah. And I met him a couple of weeks ago. It's the Sunday around the 22nd or 23rd of June. His name is Greg.
Thanks for the invite.
Oh, well, they sent an invite. I saw it on
I saw it on
Facebook just like you did. Susie posted it. You need to connect with her.
I considered going.
I didn't even know about it.
It was very much.
You were too busy.
There was a couple of
e-bikes.
There's a couple of Denton bike cops there too. So, it's going to be work, but at least they're publicly acknowledging that they're behind and
That's
they're
the first
working
step.
together. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of new construction going on. Everything has bike lanes built in it. They're trying to retrofit some of the other busier, more dangerous sections. They think they did a poll last year or earlier this year to where they were asking for cyclists' input on what intersections and roads that are not state or federal that are the most dangerous and the ones that have the most activity that people feel the least safest.
I can't remember. Did that new Bonnie Bray stuff have bike lanes, or was it just the lane?
So where we went when we got to the stop sign at the top, and we took a left and then went down that new bridge.
Yeah.
If you go to the right, that whole road is a bike lane. What
the old road's a bike lane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of new construction and Susie, she's the one that gave us the original dirt on what's going on over by your house.
Yeah.
And there's still no progress there. Do you know anything?
It's still the same rumor as. Well, I still believe it's the same rumor about an argument between the construction company and the gas company.
I thought that I heard too somewhere that the train authorities had something to do with it. They had an argument in there too.
And it all could be tied together. So here's the deal. There's a really long piece of road between my house and Brad's. It's a mile long.
Okay.
It's Hickory Creek Road that has that really, really tight turn. They've had, over the last 10 years, I think 5 or 6 people have died, including 2 brothers.
Yeah.
They were on their way to soccer practice at Geyer that went off, and they ended up upside down in the creek.
Okay.
Crazy story. I rode my bike past it that morning.
Yeah.
I rode right past them, upside down in that car,
No
went and
clue.
did a loop, rode right back, didn't hear it until I was sitting at home working, and I heard the ambulance and the fire truck coming.
Yeah, good.
So it was a terribly dangerous road, and it's that section of road that pops out right there at Country Club Road.
Yeah, which is also a dangerous intersection as well.
Incredible.
But then they went and put that whole guardrail on the entire creek side of that road and put all those lights in.
Yeah.
They had to have known that section of road was temporary. They had to known that this was in the pipeline.
That's been in the plan for.
So that was just
that's been in
throwaway
the plan since
tax money.
And the purpose of this road. So they converted a 2-lane road to a 4-lane with a median in the middle, 2 lanes in different directions, and then it stopped right at my house, right before a set of train tracks where that really curvy section is. What they're doing is building a bridge that's going to go over that train track.
Okay.
And it's going to go over Hickory Creek, which it used to do that. Up until they started working on it, there was still a pylon in the middle of the creek, right at that first turn where the road used to end up at Brush Creek, or Hilltop, actually, sorry. And they did an incredible amount of work in the first 9 months, like an amazing amount of work in the first.
I was like, dude, they got to be ahead of schedule.
And they have, right now, they are, I would.
7 months.
Oh, no. There are probably a year and a week or 2.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So they've got pylons put in the ground.
New pylons.
They've got infrastructure on both sides being built. It's going to have a dedicated bike lane, protected bike lane.
Okay.
With a full concrete
barrier.
Barrier is the road is the word. Yeah.
Okay.
The project stalled, and the rumor that the project stalled was that well, first the city, which is full of shit, said that they're letting the pylons settle. And that takes 18 months for the pylons to settle. The problem is they haven't set all the pylons.
Yeah.
There's still 4 pylons missing where the power line runs right through the middle of it.
But if you go over to
There's too
State
much
School
slope
Road,
on the roof.
if you go over to State School Road where they did they're doing that bridge work. Yeah, Mayhill.
They've built that in about a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, so they didn't let those pylons settle for 18 months.
That's so then the rumor circulating was that is that the gas line is too close to
3 feet is what I heard.
And so Atmos, is it Atmos?
Yeah, Atmos.
Atmos is saying that the engineering company's plans are wrong. The engineering company's saying that Atmos is wrong. You've got, is it Burlington Northern, or is that Santa Fe?
I have no clue.
Whatever that train line is, they're involved in it. So it is a standstill.
But here's the thing: as an ex-builder that had to go through permits and inspections and getting plans approved and all this stuff, it seems like somebody dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Because all of those pylons were plotted on a map. The right-of-way was established. All of this stuff is in the architectural plans. And someone or multiple people just overlooked it. And then once it got built, then somebody went, oh, wait. And it's too late at that point.
Yeah.
They had to, I know for a fact that they staked every one of those pylons. They had to get an inspection. And the inspector went, yep, this is where they need to be. And there was multiple steps where it should have been caught. That's the biggest issue with me, is because I've been through much smaller projects where they get held up because something's too close, or you're into a right-of-way or an easement or whatever. So it just seems foolish that project was allowed to get as far as it was before it got shut down.
Yep.
So
we're still riding our bikes through it, Kevin. And so here's how it affects. What does it have to do with cycling?
There's no bridge of any kind?
Oh, no.
I'm just,
As a matter of fact, they dumped,
there's a low water crossing.
They dumped riprap in Hickory Creek, and so when after June 1st or 1st of July, when the rains have stopped and things start drying out, you can actually kind of drive through it. The reason why it's important for cycling is that up until that point, it was the only remote, or I would say it's dangerous, but it was the least dangerous access to the Argyle area to ride your bike. You can't, there's no other place to get into that area without coming down 377
right.
Yeah.
or driving all the way, or riding. I'd have to ride my bike all the way into Flower Mound,
right,
and then come back up.
Yeah.
The purpose of that road, of widening it and expanding it, is for that massive new neighborhood that's going in on Allred over there by Gravel Bomb.
Yeah.
Right? They're putting 1/5 of the population of Denton. They're adding that neighborhood alone will add 1/5 of the population now back into it. It's massive. It's going to have a high school,
it's going to be the
2
new
elementaries.
Antenna.
Yeah, it's bigger. It's even bigger. And the spec is 60 miles of paved and unpaved.
It's supposed to go all the way to 156.
60 miles of unpaved and paved bike and hike trails.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a massive building, and so that road will be a main roadway into Denton from the south end.
My daughter was telling me about that years ago. She's part of the design team on that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so she's the one that overlooked the 3 feet too close to the fucking gas line.
No, it's all the Allred and Gravel Bomb stuff. She was involved with that project on the very, very front end.
Allred's super effed right now, by the way.
Yeah.
Once you get past that housing addition where they paved it, it's dirt and rutted and everything
Trenched.
else. Yeah, trenched.
Well, they had it graded pretty smooth to get ready for a concrete.
Yeah, well, it's trapped now. They don't want people.
They almost have 2 roads. They do have 2 roads.
They do have 2 roads.
One of them is just for construction equipment and stuff, and the other one is, it looks like they might have started working on it or something, and then Kevin and I, when we went through there, we stayed on the right-hand side, the right hand of the road, or the right-hand road, and we got all the way almost to your, by that, it's a venue now, but it used to be a ranch or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a freaking 4-foot deep trench there that's like 2 feet wide.
Did y'all walk it or did y'all ride it?
We went around
You
it.
can go-
It
you can go
ends right at the fence line.
On foot or bicycle, you can walk around it.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's a trench and a dirt mound there to keep people from driving through.
Yeah.
Is what it really is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you go through there at night, just be aware.
Yeah,
Okay.
be super aware.
All right. What's new in Spinistry Land? Tim Nimper messaged me not too long ago and said, "Hey, I saw you're signed up for volunteer for."
Yeah, I told you that you signed up for volunteer for Spinistry Palooza.
I don't recall doing that. Why would I sign up as a volunteer?
I don't. I asked you that.
You
at
even
the
said
time.
it in the podcast. You're like, "Oh yeah, I want to volunteer."
No.
Yeah, he did.
No.
No. I said I would volunteer to if he was going to do that paste group on some of the Spinistry races, like that one group in Arkansas was doing.
Yeah, that part you talked
Yeah.
about.
Okay.
But we talked about. I said you said you had signed up for Spinistry Palooza. I said, yeah, you signed up as a volunteer.
God, I don't even remember that conversation. Okay, well, I got to change that.
Understood.
I'm going to ride.
It's already booked.
Is it?
Yeah, it's already sold out.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm looking forward to that.
I can't go.
What?
I can't go.
Why?
My kid bought Cody Johnson tickets, and he's taking me to Cody Johnson. He's
Okay.
playing at Globe Life Field.
Okay.
My kid bought front row tickets.
Okay.
Right behind the pit,
Well, he's got a mom.
but he wants to take me.
He'd have a better time with his mom.
I can't say no, and I will not say no.
And I 100% don't blame you.
Yeah, I won't be guilted
Don't do that.
into.
Don't do that.
I won't be guilted
No.
into saying no.
No.
That said, you got to figure out a way to freeze food for us so that I can.
I can do that. I can, dude. We can talk off air, but I can 100%
We'll-
set you up.
We'll figure that out.
You can sous vide it. I can. I will.
We'll figure it
Trust me, I can make that happen.
out.
You-
You will.
Oh, I will.
You will be greatly missed, but you're making the right choice.
Yeah.
Agree.
100%.
Yeah.
My son just bought me my son just bought a concert ticket for me for the first time.
Yeah.
Which is a cool feeling.
It
He
is
called
so
me and goes,
cool.
"Hey, you want to go see Resin next month or whenever?" I'm like, "Yeah." "How much are tickets?" He goes, "Don't worry about it. I got it." Oh.
That is freaking awesome.
Okay.
My youngest bought us Rangers tickets one day. We were driving in the car, and he goes, "Hey, let's go to the Rangers game." And I go, "How much are tickets?" He goes, "I got them."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hell yeah!" He goes,
Yeah.
"But you got food and drinks."
Yeah,
and merch."
yeah. I'm sure Ethan doesn't really drink all that much, but
Yeah.
if he does, I'm sure I will be the one footing the bill for that, which is fine. He's
And I go, I think I
cheap
got the
date.
short end of the stick still because I got to drive, I got to
Yeah.
pay for parking,
Yeah.
and then I got to pay for a fucking $18 hot dog.
Hey, did you go through the no touch pay booth? Have you seen this?
No.
So they're copying what's in some of the, like DFW Airport has one, and 7-Eleven is doing it. I think the 7-Eleven does it at the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
But you walk up to like almost like a little turnstile thing, and you scan your card, and that's it. You walk in, you get your stuff, you scan it, you walk out. You don't. And somehow it's connected to your card, and you're in and out. It's like super quick.
Speaking of, did you see that the Whole Foods that was doing that? There was like 3 or 4 that were like a flagship or test pilot for that project where they had cameras everywhere, and basically whatever you put in your cart, you get charged for. Come to find out, it was just thousands of Indians sitting in a room watching screens that were those cameras, and that's how they were tabulating everything.
Manually instead of AI.
Yeah. So they pulled that whole program. I read a very quick article. It may have been satirical. I'm not smart enough to vet all that. But they pulled the whole project, though.
I'm a little suspect of
This is. I think this is a Brad Boomer story. But
Oh, if only we could real-time fact check. Stand by.
oh, here we go.
well, why don't you fact check at the time you read it?
Yeah, read a fucking book.
What do you even call that?
Whole Foods AI program.
Security camera.
Whole Foods auto shopping.
Touchless checkout, maybe.
Auto check out. I'm gonna try that.
I worked on the original Sam's Club scan and go program that we did it 10 years ago, where you could scan the
It works really good.
products. Yeah, I designed the original app for that.
Did you?
And was part of the test group and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
the
worked out
current version works very well.
Does it? Good, good.
That means it has to be a byproduct of the original version.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was fun. It was a good project.
Yeah, I like it very much. Just walk around with my phone, grab something at Sam's Club.
Yep.
It's awesome.
So going back to sickness, when I was sick last week, prior to that, do either of you guys, are you dependent upon routine and momentum? Those are the two key words here: routine and momentum, and consistency in anything that you do.
Yeah, in recording podcasts,
Yes.
I'm very much set on a routine.
Yes, I can tell.
As was obvious.
I can tell. Yeah, no, I get it. So prior to being sick, I was on one of the best schedule. My momentum was so good. I was running almost 10 miles a week, swimming 3 or 4 miles a week, and still
You were
riding.
dialed in and efficient.
Dialed, and the momentum was incredible. I was on autopilot. Still feel like I'm in physically the best shape I've ever been, even though I haven't been riding a bike. And then I get sick, and it's just like I can't. And then now, just getting over the mental hurdle of getting out of that momentum of not riding, getting back on the bike. I have been going. I've gone to the gym twice since feeling better, but I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but having that momentum is big, and it's difficult.
Yes.
It's very fragile,
Yes.
and it's when you have that little skip or stutter in your momentum, it completely throws me off. I don't know if you guys are like that. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Brad.
vacations does the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, because you get out of your routine.
Yeah.
Like, and I even do the same thing when I go out of town. Like, I don't do it as much anymore, but I used to. My program in the morning, I used to wake up, have a smoothie
At about 10:30.
have some coffee. I'm a man of leisure. Have some coffee, do my thing. But, when I go out of town, I don't take all my stuff to have a smoothie. And so that's a disruptor
Yeah,
in itself.
just something like that.
And it's hard to get back into a routine when you break it, even though it seems so ingrained when you're doing it, and it seems like almost second nature. But then once you get thrown off a little bit, you're like,
Yeah.
But I've been in a pretty good routine myself. I think I've ridden like 19 out of the last 19 out of the last 20 days or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you getting up super early to do it?
Oh yeah.
Like what time, Brad? 9:30.
9:30 ish. But I'm riding at like noon every day.
I'm
trying to ride in the heat.
I'm riding in the morning. I'm getting on the bike in the morning.
Yeah, I'm trying to ride in the heat.
So did you find anything on your
I'm still
fact check?
looking because it doesn't say why it did it. It just says that it's been going on for 5 years. And I can't see anything that corroborates what I was saying. But oh yeah, it says relied on humans to double check transactions.
Double check.
Yeah. So maybe what I saw was wrong. I don't know.
I'm sure there was an auditing process of some sort.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't think every single order, but who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Because the whole point of automation is to be efficient and take the human part out of the equation.
Now,
Sure.
on certain, what I can see it could be is humans checking what the AI considers debatable. So it can process it and it can say this passes 100%, this
Right.
fails 100%, and then you can go. They can mark it as saying this passes, but I am unsure if it passes. Then it could go to a human to review what the AI's response was to
Yeah.
determine whether or not it was correct, right? Because then that's how it learns. Because it can go, okay, in this situation where this thing's blocked or visually I can't see what's going on.
Well, and I get the whole thing is a learning process too. I mean, they ran it for 5 years. I'm sure they made plenty of adjustments along the way, and retail is constantly shifting, especially that Walmart over by you, the neighborhood Walmart. I went in there a couple of years ago and there was no more checkouts. It was all
Yep.
self-checkout.
Yep.
Went in there a month or so
They're
ago
back.
and they're back.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, this is refreshing because I literally quit going there because of that. Because I was like, why am I still paying full price if I'm doing the work? You want me to come in here and stock the shelves for you too?
Yeah.
You know,
they'd like you to.
I know they would, but and I think that I'm hopeful that we won't lose an actual cashiers across the board. But it seemed, 2 or 3 years ago, it seemed like we were all headed that way. Especially when you go to like a super Walmart and they have 19 checkout lines and there's one cashier and there's self-checkout on both ends. It's like they're trying to persuade you to go to self-checkout.
Well,
and I see all kinds of videos where people are like, well, they didn't pay me to ring up my own groceries, so they're just sticking stuff in their bag instead of ringing it up and acting like they're ringing it up,
Yeah.
But I think...
I mean, keep in mind that we are... here, I'm going to throw out the C word again, but we're still in COVID hangover.
You think so?
I mean, what you're going through right now...
Is it?
That's COVID hangover. I mean, your workplace
stuff.
stuff.
Oh, workplace stuff. Sure. Okay. Yeah, fair.
Everybody's trying to readjust and figure out dealing with the new norm.
Think about it. When these big things happen like this, 9/11 was 2001, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was really 2007, 2008, 2009 before all of that caught up with us. They were able to kick the can down the road and
But I still have to take my fucking shoes off when I go through the airport.
Oh, and along those lines, I have had so many incidents since the last time we discussed that where y'all mocked me for not wanting to fly because it's actually easier to drive. Through all of our travels the past couple months, we had multiple airline issues that just reinforced it. It's like,
Oh yeah, it's a complete pain in the ass.
Half the time, sure, it works fantastic, but the other half the time, I'd have been better off driving for 24 hours.
Well,
60% of the time it works
all the time. You heard about me coming back from Mexico? I told you about that.
Yeah. So it's going to take a bunch. The only way I will fly anywhere is international. Is the only thing I could think of because I can't see being on a cruise ship for a week or two or whatever it takes.
Dude.
I'm a hard no on a cruise.
The last cruise ship I went on will be the last cruise ship I go on unless it is like a super bougie, like almost oversized yacht, and I do like a Mediterranean cruise or like an Alaskan
or Alaska.
Yeah,
that's what I would do the Alaska cruise.
But other than that, like. The last cruise I went on, I felt like cattle.
Yeah.
Felt like I was being herded. Everybody's just in line for dinner. It felt like an antiquated version of Wall-E almost. It was like, oh, we're all here for feeding time. It was absurd to me.
Oh, that movie is the animated version of Idiocracy.
Idiocracy.
Yes.
It really is.
Wall-E, Idiocracy, and Office Space are just like.
Yeah.
What's the other one? There's another one in the mix. What is it?
I don't know, but Idiocracy is so good, still so good.
Kay made a reference to that this morning about wasn't the president they were frat brothers?
Terry Crews was the president, right?
And the vice president, they were frat brothers. That's how they met or something like that.
I don't know.
Maybe she was referring to something else, but
I was listening to somebody
anyway,
the other day.
We're not political.
I was listening to somebody the other day and they said Terry Crews would make a great president.
I mean,
President Camacho.
Here it goes. Yeah, they removed it everywhere because it turns out the quote-unquote technology was just a bunch of dudes and dudettes in India watching camera footage, and that was more expensive than just going back to standard checkouts.
Okay, but that's a comment.
It is on Reddit for what it's worth.
It's a comment on Reddit.
Yeah.
Brad's getting his news from Reddit.
I'm just telling you.
To be completely fair, comments on Reddit are a good starting place to dig deeper on some backstory stuff like that. There's no doubt about that.
Speaking of shopping, and I'll get off shopping, went to Aldi the other day for the first time in forever. It's like a ghetto version of Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Because everything is just thrown on the shelves and there's no rhyme or reason to it. You can't do all your shopping there.
There's some diamonds in the poo-poo there.
And that's where I was getting to. So my favorite olive oil is a Texas olive oil. I'd usually buy it when it's on sale. So it's a 500 milliliter bottle, whatever that translates to in American, and their retail is $18 a bottle, and I usually get it on sale. I wait till it goes on sale, and it's either $11 or $14 a bottle, and I'll buy like 10 bottles at a time. I found it at Aldi. Still, the date was good. It was fresh for $7.49.
I was about to say $6 or $8 a bottle, right?
I bought all 16 bottles they had. It's obviously trash rock day.
It is.
At Velo.
So, what constitutes Texas olive oil? It's not like Texas has an abundance of olive harvest.
All the olives are grown, I believe, San Saba area.
Okay, yeah.
And then or maybe around Fredericksburg. I can't remember.
Okay.
But all the olives are grown in Texas, and they're not processed right where they're grown, but they're moved somewhere else in Texas and processed and bottled. The whole process takes place in Texas.
Okay.
And so I use it's an Arbequina, however you say it. I'm probably saying it wrong. Arbequina. I've only seen it on the bottle. I've never heard anybody say it. But it's a buttery, beautiful olive oil. And I got turned on to it when we went to Sushi by Scratch. They put olive oil on one of the sushi courses, and he said Texas olive oil, and I go, whoa, time out. Texas makes olive oil? And he showed me the bottle, and he told me kind of a brief little snippet, and I go, I'm in.
Yeah.
And so I've been buying it exclusively since then, and I freaking love it.
So overseas, Aldi is kind of like a Trader Joe's, and I don't know if you remember, but maybe 5 or 6 years ago, they will have random weird shit that they sell.
Yeah.
Non-food items.
Yeah.
And about 5 or 6 years ago, they were selling an ultralight 1-person and an ultralight 2-person tent for like $40, and it was a legit ultralight tent, and people were snatching them up and then reselling them on eBay and Facebook. Do you guys remember this?
Not really.
I don't remember the tent, but I got a kick-ass bike repair stand from Aldi.
There you go.
So random.
I know.
Well, one of my buddies got a canopy, a pop-up canopy. It's a 10 by 10, like a normal one you'd buy from Academy, and it was like $39.
Yeah.
We got a buttload of these folding tables from Aldi for Spinistry stuff. They were like $12 each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not this big. They were the smaller ones, but with the telescoping legs in it, and worked fantastic.
Yeah.
Of course, those are all the ones that ended up getting stolen over the years.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah. What's going on with Spinistry? What's the new?
I mean, the new is, summer's our slow time.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Man, summer's slow for me too. I've been struggling to book dinners.
Man, it's summer. It's hot. And people are traveling and vacations and they get out of their routine.
Yeah.
And
it's hard to maintain a routine.
Summers are tough. We've basically taken summers off for years where we'll do Midnight Massacre, but we were going to Colorado, but then the COVID and the dogs, that we got out of that routine.
Yeah.
So, but getting ready for Midnight Massacre, which is renamed to Midnight Mash, August 3rd. I'm playing with this
August 3rd.
the new video series, that Writing Everyday series that I think is going to help people write every day.
Did you create its own media channel for that, or is it still on the?
It's just on Spinistry.
Okay,
is the way I'm doing it right now.
I saw that you posted it, but I have not watched it yet.
I don't know if that's anything you guys would be interested in per se. It's more along the people that are like, how do I get in gravel in Denton or in Fort Worth or in Dallas or wherever else? It's like, so I'm showing them here's a ride you can do on a Thursday evening after work that's convenient to you, and it's safe. And hey, you go out there and do 12 or 15 miles, and maybe 3 or 4 of it's gravel or unpaved or something like that. Just a bunch of ramble rides. Show people how to do rambles.
I've told you, and Justin sang your praises too, but you were literally the inspiration for me riding every day. I can't remember your exact verbiage, but you're like, just ride an hour. Just make it a point to ride an hour every day, and you will be much better for it. And that's what I've been doing. I've been an hour every day, and basically Saturday tends to be my rest day.
Okay.
So it's
And Sunday's your long day.
we only rode like 25 miles on Sunday.
It's longer in the tooth than it is in the saddle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But right now I'm just trying to build a little base, and then I'm going to start hopefully.
All your base belong to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to continue my 1 hour with a 2 hour peppered in during the week, and then do on Tuesday we do a somewhat longer ride, and then on Sunday do a longer ride. And then when the cooler temperatures hit, then I'm going to start stacking more miles. Yeah. Speaking of bringing it up a notch, I heard a rumor about you, Mr. Caleb Wills. I heard you have plans that you haven't disclosed to us, and I want in on this. Mm-hmm. What is?
I'm just going by what he's told me. So
yeah. I heard that
2026.
2026. You have something that you're thinking about cooking up.
I got the permission slip signed.
I got mine signed too.
It was during the divide when we were looking at what was dot watching.
Can you beer me, by the way?
Yeah. And I had a coworker and a client on it, and it got to where Kay was waking up in the morning, and she was saying, okay, where's Jason or where's Nick or whatever. Just she likes to even though she's not in it from a sports standpoint, we make efforts to include each other in conversations so we can have good conversations, right? For her, it was no other investment of it's something I can talk to my husband about.
Sure.
And at one point we were just kind of talking about, what's the difference between this and the Rad? What's the difference between this and Unbound? Different conversations. So, and we had kind of talked about it years ago, and I talked about it, and I said, she goes, do you want to do that kind of thing? That's kind of crazy. I'm like, yeah, I really want to try.
Yeah.
She's like, but you're going to race it? And I went, no. I want to get up I want to be able to set aside time with work to where I can leave, go up there, ride whatever I can, sleep when I can, ride, like no other expectation of just getting up and riding. That's it.
So here's what I want to say.
And she goes, okay, that'd be cool. And that was it.
Here's what I want to say. Like, I know we're not live, but I want to say, like, in real time, I want to do the same thing. I know that we won't, probably without a doubt, ride together, but it would be cool knowing that we're both on course.
Yeah.
I want to do it in 2026. I want to hang that feather in front of me, too.
Yeah.
But on top of that, I'm planning on doing Rat next year as well.
Yeah. I will do Rat leading up to it for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to party pace both of them.
I think we do Rat and then we do a podcast.
Yeah.
If Kevin can manage that somehow. I do want to clear one thing up.
We can probably make that happen.
I don't necessarily. I want to make sure, because I have a high opinion of my wife. I don't.
As you should.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before. It is not a.
And she showed me the knife.
It's not a I need permission for someone to do something. It's that mutual respect
of
can I do this without you being so stressed that it makes your life difficult because of the level of stress.
I support you. I'm on board.
Yeah, and I want her to not be.
And that being
completely a nervous wreck. That's not fair to her.
Right. That being said, I think both of our wives would be more comfortable if we were both there.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a win-win.
Yeah.
That's what we call a win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hypothetically speaking, what do you guys need between now and then to make that viable for you? What is it? I mean, is it just putting pieces together for gear, or
I'm good on gear? Honestly, for me, I've been at my job. By 26, I will have been at my job for 12 years, and I think I can stitch together 3.5-4 weeks of straight vacation. Probably.
That's my plan, is to take a month to do Tour Divide.
So, I mean, is that basically what it is? It's just you need that much time to make things work, so you have that time available to make it happen.
Yeah. Mine is, I mean, I mean, I work for myself, so I can take off as long as I
But
can.
you also,
Yeah, that's
but you
all-
also work
yeah,
for yourself, and
I
when you're
would-
not working, you're not getting
You're not-
paid.
you're
That's
not
the downside
generating-
of it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As long as I can financially afford it, my biggest deal is just working up to it from a fitness standpoint. I think, I mean, I have the mental fortitude. I don't know how my body's going to perform physically after 6 days of putting in 100 miles a day, you know, but that's something.
You're not going to put in 100 miles a day.
But that's something I'm going to work up to.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
That's hard to do every day on that route. There's certain areas it's hard to do 200
Dude,
100 miles a
I
day.
watched a recap of Lachlan Morton's Tour Divide
Yeah.
run. He averaged 217 miles a day.
And slept 6 hours.
And, yeah.
No, he slept 12.
He got 12 hours
was he
every
sleeping 12
hours
hours?
every 40.
That
12
was the
hours every
test.
48 hours.
Oh, that's right. That was
Yeah.
the test is mandatory sleep time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. I thought the
And-
mandatory was 6, wasn't it? So it wasn't even 6
What a
mandatory.
fucking animal, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, so I have no aspirations of on the Rat or Tour Divide of beating anybody. My whole goal is to start at the start line and finish at the finish line.
Yeah, and,
You know?
and this is where maybe I kind of kick myself in the nuts on the spinistry side of things. I highly encourage almost everybody, 98% of the people that sign up for our events, don't worry about racing other people, race yourself.
Yeah.
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 That's what this is all about. But that's not the hype and the glory message that people get sucked into, sort of thing.
Comparison is the thief of joy. We've discussed this.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely, and I'm not backing down from it. It's like,
Yeah.
I'll provide an environment if I get 5, 10, or 50 people that are high caliber racers that want to duke it out with. Okay, here's an environment. You guys can go do that amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
This stuff's really for all of the others to spread their wings. Really.
The thing is, though, if you go to an event, and I don't mean to pick a scab here, but you go to an event and you don't finish it, the only person you're upset with is yourself, and
and the only person upset is yourself.
Yeah, and the only thing you wish is that you would have finished.
Yeah.
You're not worried about, I wish I would have beat this person
Yep.
or beat this person or finished here or anything else. Especially, and the bigger the event is, as far as like time and length and everything else, the more of a disappointment it is. And so, you know, I think if you just keep that perspective of all I want to do is finish. Like when I go fishing, my whole goal is to catch one fish. Everything else is butter because I just don't want to get skunked. You know?
My whole goal is to not hook myself.
Yeah, well, you have low hanging fruit there, buddy. But I think like to go out and do something like the Rat. My whole goal is literally to start in Texarkana and finish in Tucumcari. You know what I mean? That's it. I know that there's going to be adventure, there's going to be stories, there's going to be maybe some scary points, some highlights. There's, you know,
There's going to be some lowlights.
yeah, there's going to be memories regardless.
There's going to be some weather.
Yeah.
Weather is always a factor.
Yeah.
Well, first off, this is not an announcement. I'm not announcing that I'm going to do it. By the way, where did you hear that?
I can't tell you my sources.
Oh.
But it's true though.
It is true.
Yeah.
I'm tossing around. That's why I haven't mentioned it to y'all because I don't know.
So you haven't made the call yet.
Oh no! This is not a I'm in thing. This is a.
I'm trying to encourage it to be a I'm in.
This is
No,
I'm leaning towards.
No, you're in.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
right.
all right, but I'm okay.
You have no choice.
I might slide into the Rats DM this year too.
We're gonna.
Man, my October's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I'm-
won't be able to because that's Ray Porter weekend.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a problem. Well. Well. You know, unfortunately, Big Pig has 75 members. Anyway,
All right.
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think anybody.
It is a goal.
I don't think anybody on Big Pig would give you any grief for going and doing Rat,
No.
as long as you finish.
No, I'll still find a way to participate and help out with Ray Porter. Hey, I finished it.
He did finish it.
I know
He did finish it.
that was an unbound stab. I'm sorry.
I know. God, I'll never get over that.
I know. That's what I'm
All
saying.
right, so here's what we're going to do for your tour divide. We're going to get your nutrition dialed in.
I'm going to force feed myself. Because that was the thing, is like I should have been eating the first 20 or 30 minutes on the bike, and I was taking a gel every 30 minutes, and I should have been probably taking 3 or 4.
Yeah, but when was the last time you went on a ride and ate gels?
I mean, could the gels have shut my stomach down?
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah,
100%.
1,000%.
What's in those
That's
that's
why
going
I
to
got-
shut my stomach down?
That's
Ju-
why I got
just
away from
changing
gels.
Up, just changing up your stomach when you're working like that. Just changing up what you have got to eat the same food.
When you're
How
training.
the fuck am I supposed to eat a bowl of oatmeal and fried eggs on a bike?
Okay, well then you find
You find what you can do.
and that's what you eat for 6 months leading up to it.
Yeah. And eat out of gas stations on training rides.
Ugh.
Well,
I know.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's your hurdle.
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
You've got almost 2 years to find that diet routine that
Yeah.
works for you for that type of ride.
Because here's the thing. You're physically crazy strong and you're mentally tough. There's no reason you should let your gut tell you, I can't do this.
I fucking know.
Right.
Like
so,
that.
So use this to
Yeah.
conquer this.
Yeah.
And you'll be good.
I would have.
Don't change up your diet
I would
3
have.
weeks before the event.
No, you're right. I mean, I just didn't, because I was mentally and physically strong. I just didn't give it enough attention.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like maybe I'm almost would have rather have had my head wigged out, and then I could have blamed it on something that I trained for.
Yeah.
Or my legs gave out and I had nothing else left to do, and
Yeah.
I gave it. Well, I didn't do this, but like the one thing that I didn't consider is the thing that really. I mean, I considered it.
Yeah,
I had a nutrition plan. I mean, we talked about it.
We
But
talked to you about it a little bit.
We tried.
We expressed our concerns.
We tried,
Did you really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we tried. We tried.
Yeah.
did I miss that?
Yeah, obviously.
I certainly didn't ignore it on purpose. I can promise you that.
No. You had.
It's okay, but
you had a plan in your head, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
weren't being swayed from it.
Yeah. Also, didn't want to. The last thing we want to do is tell you what you're doing is wrong, and then you have the results you had.
No, I
You know
get
what I
that.
mean?
Yeah, sure, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but you're never too old to learn something.
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Work on that.
I think, get nutrition dialed. I mean,
I'm a big.
like, how did you fuel for Race Across Texas?
Same way, gas stations.
Yeah.
Not as many gels because Rad is different because Rat has the possibility of resupply depending on the time of day every less than 30 miles.
Yeah.
Sometimes 16 miles.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to refuel on Rad. It
Right.
depends on if you ride late into the night.
And the pace is different, too.
100%. You're on like my bike. There's probably a 20 to 25, maybe even 30-pound
But
difference
don't-
between the bikes.
Don't underestimate what you do have access to on Tour Divide as well. You can. No, you're not going to have an all-subs every 30 miles on the Tour Divide by any stretch of the imagination. But every other day you're going to have a major stop where you can throw in instant oatmeal and a couple pieces of fruit, that's what I'm saying. You find those things that you can get by on, and if every once in a while you have to, well, I got to slip in a gel now because there's nothing else left.
Yep.
You can do that every once in a while just to throw some calories in
Yep.
there, sort of thing. But don't turn your stomach upside down and your diet upside down.
You're also in a completely different mindset on this, regardless of how long. This sounds stupid, but regardless of how long, distance-wise or time-wise, a one-day race is.
Yeah.
Even if it's a 350-mile one-day race, it's technically not one day, but you need one at one go, start to finish. It's way different mindset than a multi-day race.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Multi-day race is actually the easiest thing on the planet because you're finally free,
Yeah.
easy mentally from an executional standpoint, because it's the very few times as an adult you're going to be on a bicycle and you have one thing to do.
Yeah.
For days.
Ride your bike.
Right. Whenever you're going out and riding and training or whatever, you're thinking about meetings, or I got to be done by this time because I have to do this.
Yeah.
Even on there's always a sense of urgency. Even with Unbound, when it's 350 miles, there's still a sense of urgency because you've got a certain period of time to get it done.
Yeah.
But on a multi-day event, it's like literally your mind is at such ease and you're so much more relaxed.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do for that day is ride your bike. There's nothing else you have to do.
Sleep, and ride.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. There's no meetings. There's no dinners to cook. There's no grocery lists.
Yeah.
There's none of that. There's no work. None of that. Meeting.
Yeah.
You better poop every once in a while.
That probably. I think it's inevitable. Yeah.
I don't think I did a single. I did do one poop in the wild on rat, and it was on the second one. I didn't do any poop in the wild on the first rat.
Wow, that's tremendous.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I don't know whether to be proud of you or scared.
Yeah. I held it.
Yeah. Well, that being said, whether it's your intention or not, I'm 95% in for 2026 Tour
All
Divide. Once again, I will not be shattering any records. I will not be turning out 200 miles a day. I am showing up for the adventure, and I plan on taking a full 28 days to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe even more. I don't know.
I have a bigger goal of just having my bike on the bikes of.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be cool too.
That seems like a really cool notch on the belt to get on that.
Well, and that brings me to my next conversation, because you already have a Tour Divide bike.
Yeah.
I don't think that the Fargo is the Tour Divide machine, but I think it could become the Tour Divide machine.
I think it's a perfectly adequate platform to Tour Divide from.
I think it's better than a lot of the bikes that I see on there.
That's true.
I would I see people that he's
trying to find a reason to buy another bike.
No, not true.
Well,
not true.
Look, here's my formula on it.
The Stella would
N
do.
plus
The Stella
one.
Would,
No.
the Stella would do well on the Tour Divide as well.
That's fair.
Yeah. You could build that out. Here's the formula Tour Divide.
Oh man.
Does it have 29ers or above?
YL Hefty would.
If it has a 29er, then yes, that's the right bike. If it's less, I would say I would rather have your bike, your Fargo, than some people take Warbirds and some people take gravel bikes with 45s on it. That's not a good idea.
That's a no. That's a hard no for me.
So if
but
that's
I've seen people do it on stump jumpers and shit too.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, they do the going trend, which is strange.
What did Lachlan do it on?
He did it on a Cannondale Scalpel, I believe.
Oh, okay. It wasn't a slate?
No, it was a hardtail flat bar.
Yeah, okay.
With a lefty. What was I going to say? Oh, I'm seeing a lot of people put drop bars. Not a lot. There is a trend of people putting drop bars on
mountain bikes.
Yeah,
and aero bars.
Yeah.
Well, aero bars on mountain bikes. That was the original Tour Divide platform.
Yeah.
But the sole purpose is for bigger tires in the climbing range of a mountain bike. Like it's a means to an end, not because it's because there's that particular bike brand that that person sponsored of Trek doesn't have
a drop bar
mountain bike.
Yeah, a mountain bike. Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, and maybe the Fargo is the bike. I mean, I think I could definitely morph it into a Tour Divide machine. I mean,
that bike is bomb-proof.
Yeah, I'm speaking out of both sides of my mouth because I'm about to say it is totally the bike I want on Rat.
Yeah.
So,
but like Kevin said, that's you get that Stella outfitted right, put comfort sticks on a flat bar like that, and that is a Tour Divide machine.
Yeah. Back to cockpits. Tell us about your tributary upgrade.
Went with the whole red shift
kitchen sink.
Threw the kitchen sink at it.
Yeah.
Kitchen sink with the hoop. Put the hoop bag on there. Cruise control grips, which are so fucking dynamite.
Did you just get on it and go, why is this? Why is it
new?
Bikes have been around for what, 30, 40 years? There's been bicycles?
I think
something like that.
I think 45.
30, 40 years. Yeah. And we're just now doing this?
That cruise control grip setup is simply outstanding.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that as a red shift zealot.
Speaking of which, there's some really long bar tape hanging on the wall here at Velo Republic.
Okay, there we go.
Yep.
There we go.
As the good Saint Carl would say, it's a game changer.
It's a game changer.
So I am very happy with that setup so far. It definitely freed up my real estate on the handlebar angst that I was having. There's plenty of room to do things. I've even got room to
More room for activities.
Yeah, baby.
So, for the kitchen sink, do you use standard drop bars, shifters, and brakes, or did you put mountain bike brake levers on it? How does that?
No, it's just
No, it's a drop bar.
It's a drop bar.
Yeah.
It's a drop bar.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just.
The kitchen sink is the drop bar that has this.
It's got the
spot
extension hoop on the front end.
Okay.
That it's just more places to clamp stuff, but it came with the optional bag that fits inside it.
Mm-hmm. What's the accessibility like and storage of that bag?
Super accessible. It zips on both sides, but the side towards you is actually open, so you can just slide your hand in.
That's nice.
It's a feed bag,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
But it's got netting on the top, so keys and wallet will go in there.
Mm-hmm.
Phone doesn't fit in there. Not the end of the world.
Because it's an Android.
Probably, yeah.
Speaking of which, I still haven't got that guy's Android phone back. I've been trying to give this guy his phone back for...
I told you, he replaced it the next day.
It's a burner.
The service is no longer active, but still, I will say this. Having not ever messed with an Android before, that thing has been powered up for like 3 weeks and is still not dead, which is astounding to me. Okay. But it's also not connected to Wi-Fi or anything else. So.
It's basically
you're not using any processor.
Hey, cute shorts, by the way. Just put that anywhere.
I think he's going to poop.
He only did it once on the wrap, but he's done it twice during this podcast.
That was the butt clinch shuffle there.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
So, back. So yeah, I'm very happy with that Redshift cockpit so far. I will say this though. All right, okay, and so this is the downside of the e-bike, and I think it contributed to this. I did have my first, well, I guess second, because you were there for my first "this bike's too heavy" situation.
Yeah.
Ran into that yesterday, my heat acclimation ride. I think I just got heat zapped at the very end because I finished in the sun and didn't overdo it, sort of thing. But I, stopped riding, and the truck was parked in the sun, and just went directly to take everything off the bike and throw it on the rack, and got the bike halfway up, and the arms just turned into noodles.
Yeah.
With 60 pounds of shit on the bike.
That's the thing I've noticed about that freaking turd is picking it up and putting it on that bike rack. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. You got to be ready for it.
Yeah.
Be sure to turn the fan on.
Yeah, run the fan, you heathen. Everything come out okay?
Oh, man.
You were a fast pooper, by the way.
That's not poo-poo. I drink 2 beers, 3 beers. That stuff goes through me fast.
Yeah.
Lightweight.
Oh, no. So lightweight.
Says the guy who's not even drinking a beer.
Well, because I need to get lightweight.
Working. What else is going on? I'm still intrigued by the DJI entrance into.
I would love to ride that bike when it comes out.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
DJI. I'm sure there's a different name for it, or somebody else says it better, but DJI.
It's hard to say JI, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the people that make the
drones and
all that.
And
here, I'll try to send it to you.
At Eurobike, they
It's a camera?
Nope.
No.
It's an e-bike.
E-bike motor.
Heavy duty e-bike motor, but they've got their own bike and everything.
I just sent it to you.
And looks sexy as hell.
Yeah, they're about to shake the whole game up. That's what's the real deal.
Oh, there it is.
Amflow is the first bike featuring it, but I don't even think they're for sale.
The Avinox drive system?
Yes.
So what makes I'm e-bike dumb. What?
It's lightweight. It's 1,000 watts with a super long runtime on it. and it's DJI. That's the main thing. Their skill set with electric motors and AI and battery conservation and everything like that is pretty much top of the heap for the industries they're in. It's realistic to expect it.
Estimated range 100K on auto mode.
Which
On
is,
eco is 120.
yeah, which is like 100K is like 62 miles.
63 miles.
But that's a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But also, what's the terrain? Is that riding road?
Well, on trail it says 93. Staying at 105 neutron big neutrons.
Big neutrons. Yeah, it's pretty insane. I think that's the crossover too. Like, you know, I was saying 5 years from now, we're gonna feel silly because we made fun of e-bikes for so long, myself included, obviously. But the other thing that's going on right now is e-bikes are getting so much better, faster, longer range, more powerful, lighter. I mean, all of the attributes that were a detriment to e-bikes in the beginning, I think right now we're getting to like
I'm
the sweet spot.
Yeah, I'm saying all that, and particularly after spending just a little bit of time on that confluence, it actually reinforced. I don't need 1,000 watts. I don't need 100 fig newtons, or is it 120, whatever it is.
This one's 105.
105.
This
okay.
one goes to 11.
Goes to 11. Just a little bit of assist is plenty, but I also recognize that most of the market's not going to feel that way. I get that. Now, what's going to be the game changer, I think, in the next
Batteries.
Those solid state batteries when they are, I mean, they're starting to come out with the camping power boxes, the solar generators with the solid state batteries now. So we're probably just a couple years away from a legit e-bike being set up with them.
That'd be pretty dope, man. I think batteries are the biggest hold back right now.
For the weight and the expense and just the longevity of the ride itself.
Well, make no mistake, when batteries get smaller, they're going to be more expensive at first.
What's
no doubt.
Give me the 101 on batteries. What is so? They're solid state. What's the not solid state? What?
Lithium
ion,
lithium phosphate, or whatever.
I'm not a battery scientist.
I am not. We'd have to get Shalette in here to tell us how all that stuff really works.
But essentially, right now, I mean, look at the down tube on any of these e-bikes right here. That's all battery, and it's gigantic and it's heavy,
and it's still only 35 miles of riding or whatever it is.
Yeah, essentially. 5-ish years from now, you'll have a battery that's half that size and has twice the range.
It'll okay. And I'm not sure how it works right now, but Clarence, he has the 3T Exploro e-bike,
which is a gravel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it actually has the same hub motor as Jan's Confluence.
Okay.
But he gets 150, 160 miles out of that thing. Now it's more of a true pedal assist like the Confluence is, and it's a Zoot brand, so I'm sure that they've got all the money in that bike's in battery, a higher tech battery. It's not a solid state battery by any stretch of the imagination, but it looks just like almost like a regular 3T gravel bike, except for the hub motor in the back. So. I've gotten Clarence to commit to riding the Rat on that with me, so we're going to e-bike the Rat this year.
Yeah.
See if that works.
That's cool. That's what I was saying about the whole hub motor thing. I think that's what's that's gonna be a big crossover too. But powering it. So because you can essentially put that on any bike. At some point, there's going to be a consumer model that goes on any bike. Right now, the ones are aimed at the front wheel. But
yeah, there are some now. I mean, again, it's the battery aspect, but yeah.
How does the battery communicate with that hub though, on that bike?
I think the wiring runs through the chainstay. But I don't know that for certain. That's a darn good question now that you bring it up. But I think the hub connection itself is the electrical connection.
Interesting.
I think.
Interesting.
I'm not going to tear apart the wife's bike tonight to figure that out, though.
Right.
Maybe tomorrow night, but not
what's
tonight.
the warranty on that? You start digging into your car's goodies, and it'll void your warranty. And there's other pieces of electronic. If you break a seal, at what point do you void your warranty when you try to self-service your
e-bike?
e-bike?
Question.
That would be a Gabe question. Is he available or is he tied up?
Let me see.
He's talking to a customer right now.
Yeah, so he's tied up.
Yeah, but I'd be curious to know. I imagine it's much like having a vehicle when it's still under warranty. If the service isn't done by an authorized dealer, then you're at risk of voiding your warranty.
Yeah.
I would imagine that's.
I think it almost guarantees that you void it because that's my understanding is that
unless you have a shop that backs you up.
Well, but they're not. They're going to do that on the down low.
Yeah.
I
wish I knew a shop that would do that.
The jailbreakers they do recognize that they're doing that at even the down low shops. That's because when you jailbreak it, that's obvious. There's no hiding that.
Yeah, there's a fingerprint left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so those guys get their extra 15 miles an hour out of the motor, but they also know that if it burns up in 3 months, they're investing in a new motor.
Yeah.
Completely.
How much? I wonder how much a replacement. Like if you did that.
If there were only someone here to ask.
I was going to say similar to like the issue, or I think we talked about this. I don't know if it was on the podcast or not, but how many Tesla cars you see on Facebook Marketplace for like super cheaps because the motors are blown up, like
the
batteries are blown up,
the
and the cost of the battery is too high. I wonder if what's the lifespan, shelf life of these e-bikes?
I think a good mid-drive motor's in the 750 to 900 range, but that's
for the MSRP replacement cost.
Yeah. That's the number that kind of.
But I wonder what the warranty looks like. What's the warranty
on
the
Bosch,
drivetrain?
On my Bosch,
is it 2 years?
I think it's 12 months.
Oh shit!
That's not very long for that kind of investment, in my opinion.
I understand that.
You better make sure something happens at 11 and a half months.
I think that's
wink.
I think that's the bumper to bumper no fault warranty. I think
right.
I think there's well, I'm not going there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say things that may prove to be untrue. But also back to that Tesla discussion. There is another piece in that mix that when we had that initial discussion I was not aware of. But the other piece of that equation is Hertz made a massive investment in Tesla vehicles for their rental fleet, and they're dumping all of them.
Yeah, they are.
And that's just driving down the price of used Teslas that much more.
Yeah, dude, if you go on Facebook Marketplace and look for Teslas, they are flooded, and all of them are right at that 10-year sweet spot.
Yeah.
Because what happens is the battery is not under warranty anymore, and the replacement cost, it's cheaper to buy a new Tesla.
Right,
almost.
and basically at that 10-year mark, if obviously there's no check engine light on a Tesla, but whatever the comparable is to that, once that light goes off, they say we can't do anything until you replace that battery.
You get a blue screen of death.
Basically, yeah.
I have a pretty incredible car story.
I'm all ears.
But let me see if I can get Gabe over here first to answer that thing, and then
we're up against our closing time.
Put me in mute real quick.
Gabe. Good question.
You putting him on?
Can we talk to you for like 3 minutes?
Can I announce him?
Go for do
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the legend, Gabe Aguilar.
Put these bad boys on. Holy crap, that's
there
loud.
he is.
Why are you so deaf, man?
He's a rock star. All that damn banging them skins.
All them drums.
We had questions about e-bikes. Like, what was the original question?
Well, I guess there were
Multiple questions.
There were multiple questions, somewhat tied together. A, if somebody has to replace an e-bike motor, a good mid-drive motor, what's the price range for a replacement motor these days, roughly?
The actual
Parts only.
cost of the motor.
Yeah.
like
Like the bike,
six to
like the bike that I'm renting from you.
yeah. Retail price on that would probably be $600 to $800.
Okay, so you were fairly
Oh,
close. And so if
Depends
there's
on the brand.
yeah.
So,
So Bosch, there's only like 3-4 major players right now, right? For
Well,
like the bikes we ride.
in the U.S., yes, but
Yeah.
you'd be surprised how many there are in Europe, and
Yeah, we were just talking about the DJI.
how many are actually like good quality, but we just never see them here because of the major brands that come to the States and they
Right.
say like we're going to do Bosch and Shimano.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
And then when people wanted lighter bikes, they had to start looking elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know, but now you see the
DJI.
and the other.
The
I actually
Pinion.
I shouldn't tell you this. Shh. But Santa Cruz is releasing a new e-bike next summer that's supposed to blow everybody out of the water. That's what they said.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's completely redesigned, but they're using new technology on the motor side too, and it should be super light.
So here's the other question we had is, much like owning a vehicle, if the work isn't done by an authorized dealer, does it void the warranty? Like if you jailbreak your bike, it voids your warranty. Like how hard is it to void your warranty on those? And what is the typical warranty on an e-bike? Drivetrain wise.
So it depends on the brand, but most of the time it's up to 3 years on like the motor or the electronics. Some are only one, but most of the time it's 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But yes, if until this last, I'd say 2 years, 2 seasons, you could do all kinds of stuff to your bike, and then if you broke it, you could just revert it back. Say, hey, I broke my motor. They'll send you a new one. But they caught on to that, so a lot of companies, Bosch, Shimano, they have ways to find out if you've done
Sure.
adjustments. So
Yeah, it leaves a fingerprint.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we've had one guy that actually brought his bike over from Europe, so he had the lower output Bosch motor. We got it warranted for him because it broke. And when we got it, they had to actually get it from Europe, send it to the U.S., and then send it to us, because if they would have sent him one here, they would have not communicated. and
Right.
there's no way for them to do it
Right.
through our, plug and play type system through
Yeah.
the computer. So it was a long process, but yeah, I had to go that route.
Yeah.
And in that talks, we were like, can we just take one and modify it? And they're like, nope, it's just, there's no way. Like,
Yeah.
they have too many smart people in charge that want to make sure their stuff doesn't get messed with.
Yeah.
So-
That makes sense.
Yeah,
So how hard is it to jailbreak the bike that I'm borrowing?
pretty easy. No,
Is it?
No, I don't know.
No, I mean, so I'm thinking about this in completely antiquated terms. Like I remember like riding go-karts and stuff, and they would have a governor on there, and it was literally like you could just take a fuse out, or it was a super simple thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes
like-
it was just a bolt preventing the throttle from moving
Yeah.
a certain
Right.
distance.
Yeah.
Well, and so the system you have actually uses a magnet on the rear
I saw that.
wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So you could technically change the magnet, and there's a company that it works better when the magnet's on the rotor.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a company that people have been using that has a gearing system inside. You slip it over the axle, and as it rotates, the magnet moves slower. So it tricks your bike into thinking you're going slower, so you go
so it
faster.
puts more input.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking, but on a much more rudimentary level, because I noticed that the pickup for that thing on the
Rudimentary.
chainstay
That's a good ding name for him.
on the chainstay is very long.
Yeah.
And right now the magnet is slid all the way to the forward part of that, and I was thinking if you just slid it back, it would maybe think you're going
No,
slower.
because your point of your
it's still one revolution.
one
Yeah.
revolution every time. Doesn't matter where it is on the
Yeah.
spoke.
Yeah.
But that thing uses a gearing system where the magnet literally like goes really slow as the wheel's spinning fast.
Yeah.
So tricks the bike.
One more question for the only person at this table that knows what they're talking about.
Caleb.
No, it would be Gabe.
You mean this MacBook right here? Yeah.
So the hub type motors on e-bikes like the Confluence or things like that, the Molly motors. How does the battery connect and communicate to that hub motor? What is the mechanism, the connection for that?
You mean like into the inside of the motor? Or
Yeah. How does the power get to it? How do commands get to it, and so forth? Because as far as I know, it's just bolted on like a rear wheel, or is there a different connection there that I haven't?
No,
noticed?
there's a wire usually comes straight out of the axle. It's multi-pin wire that disconnects usually a couple inches away from the axle.
Yeah.
And it's usually hidden underneath the frame.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a way to remove your wheel if you need to. You just have to unplug it.
Yeah.
But even with bikes that we have from China over here, that they use the same thing, only they're oversized and super heavy.
Yeah.
The lighter, nicer hub drive motors, they have the same technology. It's just
More
shrunken
compact,
down and
yeah.
More efficient.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Very good.
But-
Thank you, sir.
It makes the
This guy's a wealth of knowledge.
I know, and that was the original premise. We were going to actually have experts that knew what they were talking
hey, and
about,
sometimes I'm not even lying,
Yeah.
so that's pretty good.
and we wouldn't know any better.
Yeah.
Exactly. Somebody
you, Gabe.
will.
Thank you, sir.
All right, back.
You cut him off too early.
I thought he was taking the headphones off. Didn't want the scruff of the beard getting all over the mic.
Thanks for having me, by the way.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being had.
Did I just get my spot taken by an actual expert? Someone that actually knows what they're talking about?
No, we can't keep up with him.
No.
He's way too smart for us.
Great guy.
Great.
Oh,
guy.
they're coming to get us.
No, that's a fur truck. All right, let's wrap this shit up.
Let's do it.
Let's kick some tires.
So that means I push a button, right?
Yeah.
And go ride your bike.